the Madinate deck. To recap, this deck is focusing on Crazed Rummaging, and we are a Chronic Madness deck. This hand, it looks okay. I mean, I'm not sure what's a good hand yet. This is the first game I've ever played with it. Not like I recorded some before this and you didn't get to see them. Literally never played this deck before. I hope it's good. Find out in a minute. Playing against Avian? Bottle Vitae. If you read my deck, if you viewed the deck tech on this, I was mentioning that a lot of people are indeed going to Bottle Vitae. I think that's an extremely smart choice. And we have two of them in our hands. What do you know? Okay, well, we're on the draw all ruby source plan, so, yeah. Not good, because we need 2 sapphire charges to even use this, so we might end up getting up to 6 and not even have a sapphire charge. Maybe something to consider when we go back and tune up the deck a little bit. Maybe we will want the mill champion instead. I'm not sure. There really should be a ruby champion that lets you, like, I don't know, do something cool, like do 1 damage to each opposing troop for the, 6 charges or something. Cottontail Ronin. He's cool. Alright, I don't like what he just did. He popped the Vitae after playing his Ronin. What happens if he drew something that he actually wanted to play with the Vitae? He should have probably popped it first. That's okay, though. Rage 1. That does not scare us too badly. We have 4 Heat Waves in the deck. Hopefully we'll draw one. Right now, that would be, I guess, a 2-for-1. I mean, he didn't really spend any cards on this guy. It was more of his charge power, but yeah, I mean, you get the idea. Oh, the Rummaging. Okay. I don't think we're going to Rummaging. I think we want to get our Fulmination out as fast as possible. Now, this card is known to not be exactly, how do you say it, stable. It oftentimes requires you to slam end keys, space bars, yell at the screen, and even then sometimes it doesn't do what it's got to do. Now, Cerebral Fulmination, interesting card. It's a functional reprint of Howling Mine, except it's in a color rather than an artifact. Howling Mine is a magic card that's, as old as time, and the problem with the card is your opponent gets the first dibs. I mean, I played it, and then he drew the first card off of it. Seems bad, and it is. If, for example, he was to blow up my Cerebral Fulmination right now, he's the only person who got any benefit out of it. Makes me feel kind of bad. Doesn't seem to be the case here, but it's the reason that these type of effects aren't always good. So, looks like we're going to get a shot out of it, though, which is good. Okay. All right. It appears to be working correctly, which I like. Okay, so how do we want to play this? I think we just want to continue on our path here. I know we have Crazed Rummaging in our hands, but I really want to get both these on the board. So let's run both of them out there. Okay, our engine is online hard right now. If we draw a Sapphire Source, I have no problem playing Sapphire Source, Chronic Madness, Crazed Rummaging, and then go completely bonkers. Now, this is also another old problem of the Hex Alpha. These two, two of these on the board at the same time, spelled imminent doom and caused the game to almost always hang up. So, Beef, another member of Team Spicy Brew, he assured me that this indeed does work now. Let's see. There's 1, and there's 2. All right, seems to be working. Now, we need to draw something good. He's going to start getting a little out of hand with this. We're going to need to draw a Heat Wave real soon. Okay. We need to draw a Heat Wave sooner than he gets to pump these guys up. Like, if he plays another Bucktooth Commander, a Heat Wave's not going to even do it. Okay. There's an excellent chance we lose this game before we even get a chance to play, so let's see what happens. Okay, he's got nothing else. This is good. He got no one drop. Let's see what we can do. Alright, a heat wave and we're fine. Heat wave? No. Okay, so we don't want to randomly discard both of these sources, so let's play it first. Now the question is, how deep do we want to go to find a heat wave? Archmage looks good, but is it good? Chronic Madness seems like we need to cast it, but if we cast it, we lose the ability to pop both these looking for a heat wave. So I'm going to pop them first. A single Chronic Madness is not going to do anything for us if we're dead. Of course we miss. So let's Chronic Madness. You can actually see the bug here. Well, it was kind of hard to see. It appeared that there was a blue halo around the bottom of our deck. I believe that it shuffles randomly, quote unquote, to the bottom of our deck here, face up. We're going to Crazed Rummaging. Okay. We lost a Sapphire source, of course, both of our Sapphire sources, and our other Crazed Rummaging. Fantastic. Oof. Alright, we might have just saved ourselves from dying this coming turn, though, which is good. I'm pretty sure we're dead anyway. We would have to draw like a boss right here. There's an excellent chance we're dead right now. But then again, we didn't draw any of our Rage Fires, and we didn't draw any of our Heat Waves, of which we have 8 total. 4 and 4. So, you know, we've gone through 18 cards of our deck. Out of 18 cards, we've seen 0 copies of an 8-drop. So 8 out of 60 is 4 out of 30, 2 out of 15. 1 of every 7.5 cards should have been one of those. We've gone through 18, so we should have seen more than 2 copies so far. And we've seen 0. Am I complaining? Maybe a little bit. Because we're dead next turn if we don't win this game. Or we don't wipe the board. Wow, he didn't have a pump spell. He didn't have any more Bucktooths, which he would have played pre-combat. So, let's see what happens. Unnecessary sacrifice seems unnecessary, because he's already at a ridiculous number of cards. He's basically committed to discarding now. Seems okay. If we go back-to-back Chronic Madnesses here, 6 and 12 is 18. Nope, doesn't do it. Alright, so his necessary sacrifice was actually unnecessary, because he had to discard 3 cards. So he drew 3, sacked a dude, discarded 3. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, Heat Wave. No Heat Wave. Alright, but we did hit that, so let's draw a card. What is up? We are terrible at this game. 4... It appears that we lose. No. No, we don't lose. I take that back. If he's got a pump spell or kill spell or one of 100 different cards, then we indeed lose. I did save the Crimson Clarity here, because if we do manage to survive, we're going to need it. Yeah. Alright, that was a 6 mil. I can't imagine any scenario where we live through this turn. But it's fun to dream. Well, let's see. If I did that the other way, I would have had an extra 1 source. Yeah, I wouldn't have done anything. The Crimson Clarity would have gained us 1 for the turn. So instead of being exactly at 0, we would have had 1 left over. What are we going to do with 1? We can't Rage Fire. We don't have any burns in the deck. Maybe we need burns. I had burns and I took them out. Maybe burn is just better than demolition. You know what? It probably is. That's something that I'm going to have to potentially change for game 2. Because if I'm going to be cerebral fulminating, then odds are they're going to hit their land drops anyway. I say land drop, I mean source drop, I suppose. So maybe demolition is just bad. Oops, sorry. Yep. Okay, well, the game froze up. I'm 100% sure we were dead this game. He's saying that he had Onslaught. No doubt in my mind. He's completely truthful here, and I'm sure he has a source to play. So, we're going to report it as bugged, and we'll go on to game 2. I'm going to change those Crazed Rummagings to burns. See you back.